Hey, new friends. My name is Jess Henderson, and I am a wife, a mom, a wedding photographer, a business owner of a studio, and an all around friend to everyone that I meet. So it is great to meet you officially over the internet and not in person, where I would give each of you a hug and then I would ask you what your name was. I would ask you what you were doing. So, if you guys are connected to the online chat while we are here together, I would absolutely love it if you would drop in real quick your name, where you live, where you're watching from, maybe. And if you are a business owner, a dreamer, if you are a creative who is just looking to get some inspiration, let us know what you do in the comments so that we can feel like we actually are meeting in person. I want to say a quick thanks to Kelsey and for inviting me to be a part of this summit. She is such an amazing friend, and I know you guys are going to love her book. So make sure that you've ordered it today. What They Taught Me by Kelsey Chapman, and I know it's going to bless you. So let's jump right in. When Kelsey asked me what I wanted to talk about, I sat there for probably a day and just kept thinking of all these different titles. I love to name things. I love to give a name to something. Every idea, every business idea that's ever crossed my mind, I want to name it really fast. And so that was what I wanted to do with this talk. And I just kept saying, "Oh my gosh, this is too long," or "This is so crazy," and "Oh, maybe not. Like maybe this is not what they're going to want to hear," kind of thing. So I texted Kels and I said, "Okay, what I wish they would have taught me about navigating tragedy while running a business." I said, "I know it's a mouthful. Is it too long? How do we shorten that?" And she was like, "No, absolutely not. Let's keep it." So that is how this topic got named. We just decided to put as many words in it as possible. Just kidding. So I have been a business owner for over a decade. I started a wedding photography business shortly after my husband and I got married, and we're in college. We got married super young. And so we did the college thing together. Well, he did. I'm the creative who didn't go to college, but I started my business while he was getting his education. So I started wedding photography over 11 years ago, and I thought about all of the moments of tragedy that I have navigated while running a business and what some of those takeaways were that I could give you guys. So, hopefully, if you have to navigate any tragedies while you're running a business, you can do it a little bit smoother with some of these tips. First, a little backstory about me. My husband and I, like I said, got married super young. We went to college, and there's no easy way to say any of my story, so I just try to rip it off like a band aid. I have had 6 miscarriages. I have had one full term birth of our beautiful daughter, Olivia, who is going to be 10 this year. And in the midst of that, I also lost a grandparent and who I was very close to. So there was just a lot of death, a lot of physical trauma that I went through. A few of those miscarriages ended in emergency surgeries that were also just double trauma, if you will. I was losing a baby that I wanted so desperately, and I also was having emergency surgery to save my life. So let's fast forward to where I am right now, and then I'm going to get into some of these tips for you guys. First, I will say if you are currently navigating a tragedy or any type of loss, any type of trauma, I just want you to know that there are so many people here in this community that Kelsey has created that want to encourage you, that want to support you, that want to pray for you. So please don't hesitate to just drop a little asterisk so that we know that we need to be praying for you. We don't have to go into details. I know it's always a little uncomfortable with strangers, but I would love if you guys just need an extra hug, if you need some encouragement, to just real quick drop some asterisks in the comment, and that way we can be praying for you guys. So I have been running my business as a solopreneur for the past 11 years. And our first miscarriage took place before I operated my business, before I had any of that. So we had our daughter a few years later, and I was working full time. My husband was in school full time. And out of that created the desire for me to run my own company because I was working for somebody else. You guys know the story. Some of you are doing it right now and trying to figure out how to transition. And let me just tell you that it is going to be made abundantly clear to you if you properly plan. As a friend of mine says, proper planning prevents poor performance. Say that 5 times fast. And I always think about her when I think about proper planning. And so as I started my business, I did not plan properly for any missteps or any mishaps. And that's something that I really want to encourage you guys to do. If you're 10 years into a business like I am, I want you to do some revamping today with your notes of what you could put into place right now that will help your business if you are faced with any type of traumatic loss or any trauma or just any type of tragedy. There's so many different things that we can navigate as business owners, and I think it is so very important that we plan properly. I have that quote in my head going over and over, but all jumbled around. So let me just start with, first of all, prioritizing your health. That is my number one thing that I'm going to tell you guys to do. As you are putting together any type of plan to navigate tragedy, I want you guys to prioritize your health. That is something that I did not do while I was going through our miscarriages. So let me just give you an example of a few things that I have done in my business years that I wish that I could go back and change. I had 4 of my miscarriages while in the height of my busiest seasons. So I've photographed 40 weddings in 1 year, and within that year had a miscarriage, and I took no time off. So as soon as my body recovered, thankfully, because of how crazy I was, I did not have anything take place the day before, the day of a wedding. So as soon as I had miscarried, I think I gave myself maybe like 8 extra hours before hopping in the car. The next day, like I prolonged my drive to where I was arriving late at night, and I thought I was giving myself such a treat, and drove to Nashville to photograph a wonderful wedding. Part of it was because I loved my brides so much. I enjoy photographing weddings, and I enjoy being a part of such a special day. I feel so honored when people select me as their wedding photographer, and I just never want to let anybody down. So in return, I didn't take care of myself. And I'm driving after having a miscarriage. I am photographing a wedding. I'm not giving my body any actual time to heal. There's no time for me to physically heal. So it's depleting me. It's depleting my energy. People aren't getting the best of me because I am just pushing through such horrific trauma and pretending like I'm fine, which I think we can all agree, if you want to drop a little, hey, that's me, pretending that we're not okay only lasts so long until we are basically forced to acknowledge that we're not okay. So let me just encourage you to prioritize your health. What do I mean by that? Prioritizing your health can look like a lot of different things for different people. And sure, a spa night in your bathtub is a great thing. Prioritizing your health for me, if I'm giving you guys a few specifics, would have been to really take care of my physical body. I would have given it time to rest. So in the midst of this tragedy, I would have blocked everything off on my calendar. I would have sent money back. I would have said, I'm sorry. And I'm going to get to the next step within this statement is I would have ensured that I had enough people covering me that I could have taken care of myself first, known that my brides were taken care of, and continue on with healing. So my second point is to make connections. If you are a service provider, or maybe you provide goods for people, you're dreaming about what you want to do. Maybe you're a writer, maybe you have deadlines. There's certain things that we all have that have an end goal, whether it's finishing a project, it's starting a project. We all have those things. And the second thing that I would tell you guys to do is that you have to make connections within those same fields. These connections are the people that you cheer from the sidelines. You're cheering every time they post on social media. You're having coffee together. You're dreaming up great things together. You're doing fun photo shoots. You're coming up with creative new launches. And these people are doing the same exact thing for you. So I could have very easily, if I would have been a little bit more intentional with navigating my connections with photographers, I could have easily asked somebody, can you please cover this wedding for me? I have just gone through a miscarriage and I really need to put my feet up and I need to just sit for a minute. And I guarantee you that any one of the girls that I currently know now and have great connection with would have jumped right in and said, what can I do for you? What can I do? Like, what do you need? And they would have made it happen for me. That goes into my next point, which is learning to ask for help. When you're navigating tragedy and you're running a business, it can feel so overwhelming to actually stop and ask somebody to help you with whatever it is. Okay, maybe you haven't gone through personal trauma or personal loss and it's financial. You're in financial trauma. Okay, I've also been there. And asking for help, asking for somebody to say, hey, I need you to look over my books. Hey, I need you to look at my expenses versus what I'm charging right now. There is nothing ever wrong with asking for help. I want to know if I am not the only one out there. And are you also needing the reminder that we need to ask for help more often? Let's do a little AFH for this, okay? We need to ask for help. Comment in the little section there and let me know if you are also needing the AFH reminder, okay? I know that it can sometimes be humbling, or maybe we have to set our pride aside for just a little bit and ask for help, especially when it comes to financial things. Am I doing my taxes right? Hey, can you look at this? Hey, maybe I'm a little bit embarrassed to show you what I'm charging right now, but I just really need some kind, constructive criticism. And I would really encourage you guys to connect with people that you admire. We're not looking for their secrets because, well, I don't have secrets, but I know a lot of business owners have secrets that they feel have elevated their business above others, which I think is so great. And I would really encourage you guys to figure out, if you have some of those secrets, what things you can share to the next person. There are so many clients to go around, and there are so many things that we can share that don't need to be secrets, that can elevate and also improve other people's businesses. So I just want to encourage you, that's a little side note, think about your secrets, see if there's anything that you can share, and then don't be afraid to ask for help. If it's physical help that you need, like I should have done so many times, and just ask for someone to physically step in and take lead for my weddings, I should have done that. And I should have not been embarrassed or felt like, oh, I'm fine, I need to just do it, my bride's hired me. Because I'll be honest, as much as I love my brides, I probably only have, let's say 30 to 40%. And I know that's a really high number. So let's just go with 30% of them that I still interact with and talk to over the last 11 years. I know that everyone is super busy, and I know that they have chosen me so that I can feel like a friend on their wedding day. But the reality is after that day has passed, I am still navigating trauma where they have celebrated such a wonderful day, and it would have been better for them probably to have a photographer who also could have been fully present with them. That's not to say that they didn't get the best of me. I did the best that I could, but I think that it would have been a better choice for me to just ask for some help and ask for someone to even just step in and allow me to be the second shooter and for them to take lead on that day. There's so many options and so many things that can be helpful if we just ask. So my next point is with the financial part that kind of tied in with number 3. Number 4 is planning financially. So first thing I want to do is tell you guys, eventually something is going to come up. A piece of machinery is going to need to be fixed. A new piece of equipment is going to need to be purchased. A new something is going to have to happen. Maybe a big refund is going to have to happen, and that's going to hurt financially. And what I want you guys to do is plan accordingly. So I want you guys to channel your inner Dave Ramsey and get yourself a savings account for your business. So I want you guys to have an emergency fund that is never touched unless it is truly an emergency. So if you guys have to refund someone, example, if a bride of mine has selected a $4,000 wedding package, their deposit is $2,000. It's non-refundable unless I do something that cancels or voids the contract, okay? So, example, I have just had a miscarriage. I need to have in my savings account their deposit in any money that they have paid me at all times. That is my opinion. I think that you guys are going to have to figure out what's best for your company. If you guys have some questions about what we think you guys should do, you can drop that question into the chat box and we will absolutely respond, give you guys a little idea of what you should be doing with your saving business-wise, or maybe like what is your most expensive expense, and let's see if you need to have half of that in cash, all of it in cash. So for me, because I'm service-based, my equipment is my cameras, my lenses, my flashes, my memory cards, my computer, things like that. I need to always be able to replace one of those if they go out. That doesn't mean I need to have $15,000 in the bank at all times for just my business, because I do have to pay myself. But it's something to keep in mind as you collect payment, things like that, navigating and saying, okay, 30% of everything that I am paid, I'm going to put into that savings account and I'm going to build it up until I have $5,000, which I could navigate any of these last minute expenses or traumas or tragedies financially very quickly. So I just think that that is something that we could probably all do better at. Also, a part of my story that I don't mind sharing and Kelsey knows so well is planning financially for your taxes. Because let me tell you what a tragedy is. A tragedy is getting a $20,000 tax bill. Let's just let that sit there for a second. And never properly planning for it. So you have just created your own tragic moment with the IRS, okay? Don't worry, it's mostly paid off. I'm on a payment plan for the rest of my life. Just kidding, I'm not. Don't be scared. But maybe a little bit if it will help you plan financially better, okay? Those are my 4 things that I want to just leave with you guys for navigating tragedy while running a business. I hope that this has been helpful to you guys. If you guys have any questions, you can find me on Instagram at Jess Henderson. And I'm happy to share more of my story in detail. And I'm happy to help answer any questions that you have while you're making this plan so that if tragedy strikes, you guys are prepared and your business can continue on with or without you, and that you can give the best version of yourself to your clients. So again, I am so excited to be here with you guys today. I know that I am currently talking with you guys in chat, so please, again, feel free to drop questions in and know that the speakers that are coming up are so wonderful. Get your pen and paper out. Make sure that you're taking lots of notes. I would ask real quick, if you guys have your phone, if you're watching this on your computer, would you grab your phone and let's take a quick selfie together? Can we do that? Because I would really love that. That's what we would do if we were in person. So you guys get your camera out. I'm getting ready to hold a really awkward long smile, okay? And then I want you guys to tag me at Jess Henderson on Instagram so that I know that we hung out today, okay? All right, ready? Get your selfies out and let's smile. There it is. All right, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for taking the time to hear a little bit about what I have been through and what I hope that you guys can navigate better than I did. So let's leave each other better than we found each other. And don't forget, order Kelsey's book, What They Taught Me. It's everywhere a book is sold. Buy it online. Buy it at Amazon. Kelsey has all the links she's going to give you guys. So make sure that you have it, and make sure that once you have that book in your hands, you are taking a picture with it too and tagging my good friend Kelsey, because we need to share the message that all of these women taught her and that she's sharing with all of us. All right, guys, have a great day. Talk soon.